Hello, my friends. Welcome back to StoryPath English. Today, I want to tell you about a man who invented the future. He dreamed of things that seemed impossible. He saw the world differently than anyone else. He created the electricity that lights your home. He imagined wireless communication before anyone had telephones. He dreamed of robots, of flying machines, of energy that would be free for everyone. But most people have never heard his name, and for most of his life, he was poor, forgotten, alone. His name was Nikola Tesla. How did a man with such a brilliant mind end up dying with almost nothing, and why do we still use his inventions every single day? Stay with me, and if you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe to hear more. It was a stormy night in a small village, 1856. A baby was born in a lightning storm. The midwife said he would be a child of darkness. His mother said he would be a child of light. His name was Nikola Tesla. He was born in Smiljan, a small village in what is now Croatia. His father was a priest. His mother was an inventor. She made tools for the home. She created machines to help with work. Nikola got his love of invention from her. As a child, Nikola was different. He saw things that others could not see. When someone spoke, he saw pictures in his mind. When he read a book, he could remember every page. He could close his eyes and build machines in his imagination. He could test them. He could fix them, all without touching anything. This gift was also a curse. He had visions, strange images that would not leave him. He could not tell what was real and what was in his mind. Sometimes he was afraid. He did not understand why he was different, but his mother told him, "You have a special mind. Do not be afraid of it. Use it." When Nikola was a young man, he went to university. He studied engineering. He was a brilliant student. He worked harder than anyone. He read everything. He learned everything. But he had a problem. He could not stop working. He would study all night. He would forget to eat. He would forget to sleep. His professors worried about him. They said he would destroy his health. They were right. In his third year, Nikola collapsed. His body gave up. He became very sick. He had to leave the university. He never finished his degree. For a time, he worked in a telegraph office. It was boring work, but it gave him time to think, to dream, to imagine. And he was imagining something big. He had an idea, a crazy idea. What if electricity could be sent without wires? What if power could travel through the air? What if the whole world could be connected? People laughed at him. They said it was impossible. They said he was wasting his time. But Nikola believed. In 1884, Nikola Tesla made a big decision. He left Europe. He took a boat to America. He had almost no money. He had a letter of recommendation in his pocket. The letter was addressed to a man named Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was already famous. He had invented the light bulb. He had created the first electrical system. He was the most famous inventor in America. When Edison read the letter, he said, "I know two great men. You are one of them." Edison hired Nikola immediately. Nikola worked for Edison. He worked day and night. He fixed machines. He solved problems. He worked so hard that he made machines better than anyone else. One day, Edison made a promise. "If you can fix these generators," he said, "I will give you $50,000. That was a fortune. More money than Nikola had ever seen. Nikola worked for months. He fixed the generators. He made them perfect. He went to Edison. "Where is my $50,000? He asked. Edison laughed. "You don't understand American humor," he said. "It was a joke." Nikola was furious. He had worked for months. He had trusted Edison, and Edison had lied. He walked out of Edison's company that day. He never worked for Edison again. Now Nikola was alone, in a new country, with no money, no job. He dug ditches. He worked manual labor. He was a brilliant man, one of the smartest in the world, and he was digging ditches to survive. But in his mind, he was building. He could not stop thinking about his idea, his big idea. A new kind of electricity, a better kind. Edison used direct current, DC. It worked, but it could not travel far. You needed a power station every mile. Nikola imagined alternating current, AC. Electricity that could travel hundreds of miles. Electricity that could power whole cities. People said it was impossible. They said it was dangerous. They said Tesla was crazy. But Nikola did not give up. In 1887, he found investors. They gave him money to start his own lab. He worked for months. He built his motors. He tested his systems. And then, it worked. Nikola Tesla had invented the system that would light the world. A man named George Westinghouse heard about Tesla's invention. Westinghouse was a competitor of Edison. He believed in alternating current. He came to Tesla. "I will buy your patents," he said. "I will pay you, and I will build your system across America." Tesla agreed. Westinghouse paid him a large amount of money. But more importantly, Westinghouse believed in him. A war began, the War of the Currents. Edison fought against Tesla and Westinghouse. Edison said AC was dangerous. He showed animals being killed by AC. He tried to scare the public. But Tesla knew the truth. AC was safe. It was better. It was the future. The war came to a head in 1893, the World's Fair in Chicago. Westinghouse and Tesla were asked to light the fair. It was a huge project, 200,000 lights, the largest electrical display in history. Tesla worked day and night. He designed everything. He supervised everything. When the fair opened, President Cleveland pressed a button, and the lights turned on. It was beautiful. It was the most amazing sight anyone had ever seen. Millions of people came. They saw Tesla's lights. They saw the future. The War of the Currents was over. Tesla had won. Alternating current became the standard for the world. Nikola Tesla was now famous. He was invited everywhere. He gave speeches. He showed his inventions. People called him a wizard. They called him a genius. He opened a new laboratory in New York. He filled it with strange machines. He worked on new ideas. In 1891, he invented the Tesla coil, a device that could create lightning in the lab. He would stand in the middle of the room, surrounded by electricity, and it would not hurt him. People were amazed. They had never seen anything like it. He continued to dream. He imagined wireless communication. He imagined remote control. He imagined robots. He imagined a world where energy was free for everyone. He built a boat that he could control with radio waves. He showed it at an exhibition. People did not understand. They thought he was using magic. He told them, "One day there will be wireless communication around the world. You will send messages through the air. You will hear music without wires." People laughed. They said he was crazy. But he was describing radio, television, and the internet 50 years before they existed. In 1899, Tesla moved to Colorado. He wanted to do an experiment. A big experiment. He wanted to send electricity through the air. He wanted to send it around the world. He built a giant tower in Colorado Springs. He created lightning bolts over 100 feet long. People could see the flashes from miles away. For a moment, he believed he had succeeded. He believed he had sent electricity without wires. He believed he had connected the world. He wrote in his notebook, "I have seen the future." But he had not succeeded. Not really. He had created a big light show, but he had not solved the problem. He returned to New York. He was determined to try again. He found an investor, a rich man named J.P. Morgan. Morgan gave Tesla money to build a giant tower on Long Island. It was called Wardenclyffe. It was supposed to be the first wireless communication tower in the world. Tesla dreamed big. He wanted to send not just communication, but free energy. He wanted everyone in the world to have power. No wires, no bills. Free. Morgan heard about this. He was not happy. He was not investing in free energy. He was investing in a business. "Where is the profit?" Morgan asked. "There is no profit," Tesla said. "It is for everyone." Morgan stopped giving money. The tower was never finished. It stood there, half-built, for years, a monument to a dream that did not come true. After Wardenclyffe, Tesla's life changed. He had spent all his money. The investors were gone. The world had moved on. A new inventor was becoming famous. His name was Guglielmo Marconi. Marconi had invented the radio, or at least he had gotten the credit. But it was Tesla's patents that made radio work. The courts later said so, but by then it was too late. Tesla became bitter. He felt the world had stolen his ideas. He felt forgotten. He moved from hotel to hotel in New York. He had no home. He had no family. He had no wife. He had no children. He spent his last years alone. He talked to pigeons. He fed them in the park. He said one pigeon was special. He said he loved her like a woman. People saw an old man walking alone, talking to birds. They did not know that he had invented the future. They did not know that he had changed the world. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died. He was 86 years old. He was alone in a hotel room in New York. The maid found him 2 days later. He had a small sign on his door, "Do not disturb." He died with almost no money. He owed thousands of dollars to the hotel. His notebooks were full of strange ideas. Some people thought he had lost his mind. But he had not lost his mind. He was just ahead of his time. After his death, something happened. The U.S. government took his papers. They classified them. For years, no one knew what was in those notebooks. Why? Because Tesla had ideas that were too advanced, ideas about energy, ideas about weapons, ideas that the government did not want anyone to know. In the decades after his death, Tesla's name came back. People started to understand what he had done. He did not just invent alternating current. He invented radio. He invented remote control. He invented the induction motor. He invented the Tesla coil. He imagined wireless communication. He imagined radar. He imagined X-rays. He imagined the internet. His ideas are in everything we use today. Every time you turn on a light, you are using Tesla. Every time you listen to the radio, you are using Tesla. Every time you use your phone, you are using his ideas. Nikola Tesla's story teaches us something important. The world does not always understand genius. The world does not always reward people who dream too big. Tesla could have been rich. He could have been the richest man in the world. He had patents that were worth billions, but he gave them up. He gave them to Westinghouse when Westinghouse was in trouble. He said, "You keep the money. You build my system. That is more important." He did not care about money. He cared about the future. He cared about making the world better. He dreamed of free energy for everyone. He dreamed of a connected world. He dreamed of machines that would do the work so people could be free. Those dreams did not come true in his lifetime, but they are coming true now. Tesla once said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." He was right. The present belonged to the people who laughed at him, but the future belongs to him. Every time you turn on a light, you see his work. Every time you use a device that connects to the world, you see his vision. He died alone, but he is not forgotten, because the future he dreamed about is the world we live in today. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like this video and subscribe to StoryPath English for more stories that help you learn English naturally. And tell me in the comments, which historical story do you want to hear next? Where are you watching from? I love hearing from you. See you in the next story, my friends.